Our MC, a social media influencer, decided to live stream a video on an urban legend of the ghost princess. But there's a catch here. The actress who should have played the role of the ghost princess did not arrive on time. Instead, a real ghost was standing in the place of the actress. But despite knowing this, our MC, being the simp and cultured man that he is, decided to propose to the ghost princess to marry him. And surprise, it was successful. So let's continue from the beginning as our MC was saying. Have you ever come across the legend of the princess's tomb? It is said to be the final resting place of Princess Quang Tru, a ruler from a short-lived dynasty in ancient times. People often whisper that on the 7th of July each year, near the tomb, a female ghost in a red wedding dress can be seen wandering around. As fate would have it, that very day happened to be the 7th of July. A young man sat in front of his phone screen, excitedly addressing his live stream viewers. I've heard that today marks the anniversary of the princess's death, the day when her spirit is at its strongest. This year, on July 7th, I, the leader of our group, will guide all members to the princess's tomb for an overnight stay. He declared with confidence. He then added with assurance, I will also be bringing along the most professional live stream team to capture this historic moment. Does the ghost truly exist? Is the legend of the princess real or just a myth? Tune in to my live stream tonight at the scheduled time, and don't forget to like and share. After making this announcement, he immediately set off to prepare for the next stage of his plan. Fant and his live stream team had already arrived at the mysterious forest area. After posting the promotional clip online, the director quickly informed him, the video has been uploaded, and in just a day, it has already garnered over 1 million views. It's trending. The first step has exceeded expectations. Deep down, the director couldn't help but rejoice. If business hadn't been declining recently, he wouldn't have agreed to come to such a desolate location with Fant for this live stream. However, outwardly, he maintained a cheerful demeanor, graciously accepting Fant's praise. Yes, Fant, you're too kind, he replied. Meanwhile, the crew members accompanying director Tom couldn't help but wonder where their boss had found this gig. We used to only shoot low-budget short videos, so why are we out here now? Someone questioned. Another added nervously, let's not talk about it anymore. This place is truly eerie. Their unease didn't last long before trouble came knocking. A staff member hurried over, reporting that the director had received word from the actress. She claimed the location was too remote and that she had other matters to attend to, so she might be arriving late. Hearing this, the director's mood soured. She's just a regular actress, and yet she dares to make demands? Get her here immediately. We can't afford any delays in this live stream. His tone left no room for argument, and the crew had no choice but to nod in agreement. Yes, yes, of course, they responded. Director Tom then turned to the team and raised his voice. Filming starts precisely at 11:30 tonight. It's already 7:30 now, so we have 4 hours left. Everyone, prepare your equipment. Each of you has a task, so let's get everything in place for the live stream. Fant once again praised the team, impressed by their efficiency. Truly a professional team, he thought with a chuckle. It wasn't a waste spending 1,000 to hire this directing crew. As long as we complete tonight's live stream, we'll surely profit. Whether the legend of the princess's tomb is real or not, what truly matters is the atmosphere. It's bound to go viral. Before diving into the eventful night, Fant decided to take a short rest. I'll rest for a bit before the live stream. Call me in an hour, he instructed director Tom. Tom smiled and assured him, no problem. Rest easy, we'll make sure everything goes smoothly. However, as the live stream countdown neared its final 10 minutes, problems arose. The actress was still nowhere to be found. A staff member reported, I've tried contacting her multiple times, but I can't reach her phone. Frustrated, the director's mood was boiling. He's waiting for me to get back, and I'm sure he'll complain to her, he muttered. With no other choice, he resorted to the last option, having a staff member replace the actress. No need to hesitate, he instructed. Just study the script carefully and don't let any spoilers slip. Just as they were about to proceed with the replacement, something unexpected happened. Wait, director, someone called out. At that moment, a woman in a red wedding dress appeared atop the tall grave, with bats swarming the sky around her. Pointing towards the grave, the crew member exclaimed, Look, it seems like the actress has arrived. Relieved, the entire team let out a collective sigh. However, one of them couldn't help but ask, when did she get here? Did she bring her own costume? Another crew member chimed in, that outfit looks much fancier than the one we prepared. Before they could discuss further, Director Tom shouted, don't just stand there. The actress is in place, let's get ready to shoot. Before the live stream began, the director double-checked everything. Fant, it's time. Is the live stream signal ready? We can start the plan now. Fant adjusted his hat, stepped forward, and began the broadcast. Hello, everyone. The live stream has officially begun. Immediately, the online community was buzzing. Our handsome host has finally started. The background looks so fake, can we confirm it's real? The host looks even better on video. Not wanting to keep the audience waiting, Fant pointed toward the tomb. Let me show you around, he said. This is the princess's tomb located in Haiti. You've likely heard the legend associated with it. In recent years, mysterious stories have been spreading worldwide, and this site is said to have witnessed the presence of a female spirit. With just that introduction, engagement skyrocketed. Fant observed, oh, the viewership is off the charts. Who knows, we might earn a fortune this time. Without further ado, he continued, let's dive straight into the main event. No more talking. Let's start exploring. As he moved toward the tomb, comments flooded in rapidly. So many people are watching, he remarked. Reaching the tomb, he knelt down and recited, her restless spirit remains trapped. Every 7th of July, she appears, expressing her grievances. According to the script, a crew member was supposed to throw a stone nearby, and as soon as it happened, the comment section erupted with excitement. Everything was going exactly as planned. Fant smiled and gave a thumbs up to his team member. Well done. Everything is going smoothly. Sticking to the script, Fant then approached the actress, determined to draw her into character and heighten the tension. As he looked up at the beautiful girl standing before him, he silently praised her professionalism. Hiring her was definitely worth the investment, he thought. 111. Suddenly, from backstage, a team member rushed forward, visibly flustered, as he approached the director. Director, he called out, but the director remained fully engrossed in the success of their live stream. What's happening now? He snapped, his eyes still glued to his phone. It's blowing up. Really blowing up. Our live stream has surpassed 1 million views. We're in the top 10. As per our contract, we get 10% of the gift income. This time, we're going to make a fortune, he exclaimed, his excitement overshadowing the director's slightly irritated expression. Ignoring the persistent staff member, the director addressed the team. Attention, everyone. It's almost midnight. Faguin. Get ready to move toward the mountain slope. As Fant prepared to continue the performance, the actress, following the script, had vanished. Hearing the director's voice crackle through the walkie-talkie, a staff member quickly assessed the situation before turning toward him. What's up with him? There were only 4 of us here. Did we really need the walkie-talkie for this? He muttered. Just then, he noticed the director had begun speaking directly, realizing the actress wasn't even wearing her earpiece. A sudden gust of wind howled through the area, unsettling everyone. What strange weather! Such a strong wind all of a sudden, someone murmured. As the wind passed, a staff member looked up in shock and cried out, Director! She's gone. I can't see her anywhere. Indeed, the bride had vanished. The director, standing nearby, didn't seem alarmed at all. Instead, he rebuked the staff member harshly. I gave her the script yesterday. Of course, she's gone now. Problem solved. Dismissing the confused staff member, the director returned his focus to the main event. Fant, the actress is ready now. Head toward the mountain slope, he commanded. Upon receiving the order, Fant continued his performance, though the unsettling events had rattled him. That strong wind just now gave me a fright. I don't believe in ghosts or demons, but I have to admit I'm a little spooked, he muttered, his expression uneasy. I'm starting to wonder. Does this place really harbor the restless spirit of the ancient princess? Through the phone screen, Fant was seen advancing toward the mountain peak. Millions of viewers cheered him on excitedly. Brave leader. Keep going. Don't be scared. You won't die, someone among the staff members called out, trying to lighten the mood. One staff member, however, remained uneasy and finally decided to voice his concerns to the director. Director! Director! Listen to me. The director, growing increasingly impatient, finally snapped. Enough! Can you stop already? Can't you see everyone is busy? Spit it out quickly. Finally given a chance to speak, the staff member, both nervous and relieved, held up his phone for the director to see. The actress just contacted me. She called and said she was sleeping. She never even came here. The director suddenly grasped the gravity of the situation. Get here, now. What's happening on the hillside? Who is that? However, it might have already been too late. Fan had made it halfway up, approaching the mysterious figure he believed to be the actress. Yet an eerie feeling crept over him. She's really good at this, he thought. There's nothing odd about her at all. Then suddenly a chill ran down his spine. Wait, who is she? The realization hit the director like a ton of bricks. Panic flashed across his face. Our actress never showed up. Tell me who is up there. Tension hung thick in the air. Even the staff seemed as lost as he was. I know who she is. I've been trying to tell you, shouted Ao, but the director was too frantic to listen. Suddenly, the cameraman's voice cut through the commotion. Director, look at her feet. Quickly, look at her feet. The director rushed over, and the entire crew, along with the live audience, held their breath. The camera had perfectly captured an impossible sight. The woman was floating in midair. The online community erupted in debate. Is this real? Or just some kind of elaborate stunt? The host looks so composed and the background seems completely authentic. How could this be a trick? Maybe it's VR? She must be suspended on wires. I'm scared. She won't hurt the host, will she? As Faguin approached the actress per the script, the unthinkable happened. The woman began to levitate even higher. Chaos broke out among the crew and audience. Comments flooded in. Was this a genuine supernatural event or an expertly executed hoax? The director's excitement drained from his face, replaced by horror. The rumors of encountering a real ghost on the mountain slope seemed more plausible than ever. The crew huddled together, overwhelmed by uncertainty. Even the confident live stream host started to doubt whether this was staged or something far beyond his comprehension. Could she be an actual spirit? Or even an extraterrestrial being? The questions multiplied and panic took hold of the team. Fan, however, driven by a mix of skepticism and curiosity, took a bold step forward. Raising his flashlight, he shone it directly at the floating girl. I'm not afraid of you. Yet deep down, an unsettling thought lingered. Was this truly just a performance? I was born into the light, living in the spring breeze. Even as a demon, I remain untouchable. With that, he turned to the camera and winked. The online community exploded with speculation once more. How's he keeping his cool? I told you, this is all scripted. Look at her floating feet. This has to be some sort of mechanical trick. As Faguin continued forward, the director and his team could only watch in stunned silence. Is he insane? He's really walking toward her. Then, the demonic presence became even more apparent. The woman's nails suddenly elongated, sharp and menacing. The crew recoiled in horror. Her nails, they're growing. This is terrifying. I'm done. I'm not watching this anymore. My closet door just moved. This isn't a special effect. What do we do? This live stream is crazy. I give it a 10/10 for production value. The live stream, like a roller coaster, sent viewers' emotions into overdrive. The director, no longer concerned about revenue, hastily grabbed his radio. Faguin, stop the live stream. I think we've encountered something unexplainable. Faguin hesitated, stepping back cautiously. Unexpectedly, their communication equipment started malfunctioning. Panic surged through the director. We've lost the signal. We can't reach them anymore. Something's wrong. Fear gripped the crew. One of them turned to the director urgently. Let's run. Now. Before they could make a move, another powerful gust of wind roared through the set. 222. Before them, a strange electronic signal filled the air as feathers fluttered around. The director and his team on the Kia side were left in shock as they witnessed the demoness approaching. Pagan gripped his neck and lifted him high, and the strong wind from earlier returned, blowing away the cloth that had been covering her face. In that instant, Fant was captivated by her beauty. The viewers couldn't stay still as comments flooded in. Is this a real demon? What a beautiful demon. If demons look this good, I volunteer to be sucked dry. Hey, cameraman, focus. Tonight, I'll capture screenshots while eating chicken drumsticks. From now on, she will be my goddess. The demoness grip tightened and Fant was powerless to resist. The situation deviated from the script, raising doubts. Why is Saw acting differently than planned? How can a girl like her possess such strength? As tension rose, Fant struggled to breathe, becoming the focal point of the screen. Comments continued pouring in. What's happening? Is she a real demon at a real price? Look at her flying. Pin her down with the camera. Who can even do this? Moreover, is there really a girl this beautiful in reality? The male lead is about to suffocate. What's going on? Is she trying to kill him? The crew on the Kia side was overwhelmed and the terrified director desperately sought a way out. What can a normal person like me do in this situation? Think quickly. Look at the wind behind her and the crack in the ground. Can you be sturdier than the earth itself? The demoness force was immense, and as Fant hovered on the verge of unconsciousness, he fell into a deep, subconscious void. Fortunately, a strange light saved him and he regained consciousness. Thankfully, the demoness finally released him, and as he gasped for breath, he found himself back in control. Ugh, that was close. I almost choked to death, he exclaimed. The professional team's performance had taken an unexpected turn, leaving the online audience in shock and disbelief. The meticulously planned live stream had gone awry, and the host was now navigating an unpredictable supernatural encounter. Regaining his composure, Fagin spoke loudly, I never expected to find a real demon in this princess's tomb. I won't hide it from you all. I may be single, but if I have to die, I want to do something first. I've never thought about this before, but hey, everyone watching under the magnolia tree, let's risk it all. Even in death, I want to remain a charming demon. Today, I'll take the plunge. After boldly declaring these words, Fagin stepped forward, placing one foot in front of the demoness princess. Please release the 1,000-year-old attachment and marry me. The audience in the live stream erupted in panic. A proposal to a demon? The host is fearless. Fans flooded the comments, proposing to a demon? He's brave. Followed and gifted the host a plane. Hope to see him alive tomorrow. Now this is a scene. Fagin's calculations had paid off, reaching the peak moment of the live stream. Yet, the demoness still didn't release Fant, displaying cruel determination. Despite the unexpected turn of events, Fant continued playing along, using the contrast to elevate the climax of the live stream. A sealing talisman was still on the demoness' forehead, and after hearing Fagin's words, she looked confused. Marry you. She stepped forward, gripping Fagin's hand tightly, appearing even more fervent than before. Fant was puzzled as he looked at the girl before him. Why isn't she following the script? Why isn't she running away from my proposal? Before he could finish his thoughts, the demoness tightened her grip and pulled him closer. With a tear-streaked face, she cried out, Why did you abandon me? Don't leave me alone. This scene immediately reminded Fant of his past, the days when his parents left him, the constant mistreatment he endured as a child, whispering in his dreams, begging his parents not to abandon him. In that moment of emotional turmoil, the demoness cries sent a shockwave through the surroundings, causing everything around them to explode. The wind and the explosion seemed orchestrated, but with his IQ in the negatives, Fant still believed it was the director's doing. However, this time, who even cared about such things? The girl's cries caused everything to explode, sending the director and his crew flying. The demoness, now fully transformed, unleashed her power, and Fant finally grasped what was happening. The camera could no longer capture the scene, leaving the online community in confusion. What just happened? Is the live stream still on? Call the police. Is the host still there? This is so strange. Why isn't it going according to the script? What's going on with the host? The demoness is crying. Why did he leave her alone? Fant, still in shock, thought the wind and explosions must have been created by machinery and devices. Why do I even care about that at this critical moment? The girl, now overwhelmed by despair, cried out again, Why did you abandon me? Don't leave me alone. The powerful wind generated by her emotions sent everyone flying. Fant, his thoughts in turmoil, realized this girl is just like me. Why did she leave me like that? Isn't she supposed to follow the script and run away from my proposal? Why did she leave me waiting for so long? In the midst of the chaos, the demoness, consumed by darkness, sobbed, Why did you leave me? Don't leave me alone. Witnessing this, Fagin found himself standing before the demon girl, a reflection of his own past struggles. Recognizing the parallel, he gently placed his hand on her head and urged, Don't cry anymore. Despite being overwhelmed by memories, he acted decisively. Taking a ring, he slid it onto her finger, symbolizing a commitment. His mind was now clear, driven by newfound determination. He immediately placed the ring on her finger and then embraced her. As Fant embraced the demon girl, the dark marks on her face began to fade. However, an immense energy burst from her, pushing Fagin away and sending him crashing into a nearby large tree where he lost consciousness. Fant! Fant! The urgent calls brought him back to reality. Slowly, he opened his eyes. The glaring light made it hard for him to adjust at first, but eventually he regained his senses. "Fant, you're alive." Relief echoed through the team as they sighed in unison. As Fant got up, he was still bewildered by everything that had just transpired. "What was that? Where's the demon girl?" The three crew members exchanged puzzled glances before the director took the initiative to explain. "After that strong wind yesterday, we all passed out. Do you remember what happened after we fainted? We checked the cameras, but unfortunately the camera had fallen and captured nothing but trees and a slope. Nothing was recorded during the strong wind. After the wind settled, the live stream was also interrupted. Perhaps some mysterious footage was captured, but only Faggot knows for sure. The live stream recorder was added, but even he couldn't be certain about what had happened. Well, I was probably unconscious at the same time as everyone else," Fant commented. After this experience, he realized the truth. The princess had been truly terrifying last night, even though she had seemed normal during the day. Leighton chose to overlook the matter. The director regained his composure and cheerfully informed Fant, "That's right, Fant. Your account gained 150,000 new followers last night. Not only that, but the live stream revenue reached $33,000, excluding the app's 15% deduction, so $1,500 is coming your way. I've sent you the video of last night's live stream. Once you upload it, you'll surely gain even more fans." Still dazed, Fant nodded as he processed the information. Little did he know that his encounter with the demon princess had not only increased his follower count but had also left an indelible mark on his memory. After the events of last night, both Fant and the director were overjoyed with the results, celebrating their successful live stream with laughter. In high spirits, Fant leaned on the director's shoulder, assuring him, "Don't worry about the split this time. I'll follow the contract to the letter, not missing a single penny. We can continue collaborating in the future." With their work completed, the director promptly announced that everyone should head back home. Having endured an unsettling night, Fant quickly returned to his place, a rundown boarding house filled with dampness and neglected billboards. Upon arriving, he grabbed a can of Coca-Cola, took a moment to relax, and then began checking the progress of the video. Just half an hour after posting, the video had already surpassed 100,000 views, with comments pouring in. Fant couldn't help but bask in the glory of this unexpected success. Excitement filled him as he envisioned his future as a major influencer. However, amidst the celebration, Fant couldn't shake off his thoughts about the demon girl. He hadn't even asked for her name. Curiosity led him to her room only to find it empty. Puzzled, he wondered if she had followed him after the proposal or if she had simply returned to her supernatural realm. These thoughts were quickly dismissed as he refocused on the success of the live stream. Later that night, as Fant lay in bed, his mind buzzed with thoughts of leveraging his newfound fame. He contemplated potential future collaborations and the revenue he could generate through videos. When he finally decided to rest, he realized he had slept through the evening. Panicking, he searched for his phone in the dark. As his hand brushed against something, a red fabric, before he could react, the demon girl materialized, sitting on him. Startled, Fant stuttered, questioning the reality of the situation. "What are you doing?" he nervously exclaimed, trying to make sense of the surreal encounter. Equally perplexed, the demon girl questioned his strange behavior. Fant, now wondering whether he was dreaming or awake, reassured himself that if he was conscious in a dream, he could control its narrative. Trying to regain control, he repeatedly chanted, "I don't see her, I don't see her, I don't see her." The demon girl, observing his peculiar actions, couldn't help but ask, "What are you doing?" Fant slowly opened his eyes only to find the demon girl still there. She hadn't disappeared in the slightest. Thanks to his bizarre behavior, she regarded him as if he were some alien creature while Fant himself remained lost in thought. It seemed as if he was either too exhausted to escape the dream or foolishly struggling to do so. In his fatigue, Fant came up with a new idea. Remembering a trick he had seen before, he decided to test whether he was dreaming by bending his finger backward. In dreams, he believed the finger would bend straight back without pain. As he attempted this, a scream suddenly echoed through the room, disturbing the neighboring couples. Yet, the demon girl remained. Was this not a dream? Taking the initiative, Fant hesitantly approached her, gently touching her to confirm her physical presence. Shocked that she was indeed tangible, he found himself in yet another moment of terror. "Why? Why are you here?" he exclaimed, now fearing for his small existence, haunted by this demon. "Is today the day I lose my life?" Suddenly, the demon girl advanced, grabbing his hand. Yet, rather than being hostile, she seemed to be conveying something. Confused, Fant managed to ask, "What's going on?" As if in response, she uttered words that left him even more perplexed. "I came to meet you." You've forgotten so soon? Before he could finish processing her words, she abruptly ascended into the air. Her hair stood on end, reminiscent of the supernatural encounter the previous night. Startled, Fant tried to comprehend the situation. It seemed as though the demon girl viewed him as her husband. Seeing Fant's emotional turmoil, she shifted her demeanor. Then, as she approached, she called him darling. Fant was taken aback. Still confused, he stammered, I'm not your darling. But the demon girl paid no attention to his words. Fant felt overwhelmed, struggling to grasp the situation. A mix of fear and curiosity filled her as she gazed at the mesmerizing demon girl amidst the chaos. Suddenly, the demon girl levitated, her hair flowing wildly in the strange wind. Have you forgotten your promise? The female devil asked. Despite his fear, Fagin prioritized his safety, utilizing his exceptional acting skills. He approached the demon girl and firmly grasped her hand. What is your name? He asked. Lily, she replied simply. Hearing her name brought a bright and cheerful smile to her face. Fant breathed a sigh of relief, feeling as though she had successfully navigated the tense moment. Earlier, a single wrong word could have led to disaster, but now everything had settled. Despite his initial fear, Fant found himself captivated by the demon girl's beauty. What had begun as a tense and confusing encounter had now turned into a more lighthearted exchange. It seemed both Fant and Lily had completed the introductory phase of their acquaintance. Feeling more at ease, Fant took the initiative to continue the conversation, sparking a new chapter in their unexpected connection. Still puzzled by Lily's mysterious appearance, he couldn't help but ask how she had reached his location given the considerable distance from the princess's tomb. Lily paused for a moment before deciding to showcase her unique abilities. With a brief demonstration, she levitated into the air, emitting a strange green light. Within seconds, she vanished, seamlessly entering the necklace hanging around Fagin's neck. Fant was left bewildered, frantically scanning his surroundings in confusion. Before he could process what had happened, Lily reappeared as if she were an apparition. She explained that she was now residing within his body. Startled, Fagin let out a loud exclamation, prompting Lily to hastily emerge. However, as she attempted to stand, she lost her balance and tumbled to the ground. Witnessing this, Fant found the situation endearing despite the initial confusion and embarrassment. Moreover, it became evident that Lily harbored no ill intentions toward him. As she carefully stood up, she accidentally stepped on the hem of her dress, causing her to stumble once more. Truly clumsy, Fant remarked, noting that she had changed into an outfit likely unsuitable for easy movement. Wearing this might make it inconvenient to move around, right? He added. Lily, despite a delayed response, eventually understood his meaning. She performed some kind of magic and countless green lights surrounded her. Fant, fascinated by the spectacle, couldn't help but marvel at the enchanting sight. Could this be the legendary magic from fairy tales? He wondered. However, the result of her enchantment left him utterly stunned. A sudden nosebleed took over as he realized Lily now stood completely exposed before him. I told you to change, not to undress. Fant exclaimed. Lily, startled by his reaction, appeared flustered. Why is darling having a nosebleed? She asked innocently. Regaining his composure, Fant quickly tossed his own shirt to Lily, urging her to put it on immediately. This demoness seemed so clueless, making him question why she was so different from the demons in movies and legends. Could she be trying to seduce him? After a while, with no response, Fagin spoke up. Have you finished changing? Yes, I'm done, Lily replied. Turning around, Fant found the scene unchanged. Lily, still bewildered, questioned why she needed to wear such clothing. Ignoring her protests, Fant focused on buttoning up her shirt tightly. However, adhering to the customs of the world made Lily feel uncomfortable as the attire seemed excessively tight. Feeling helpless, Fant remarked, This is my clothing, so it surely doesn't fit you well. By the way, are you planning to stick with me like this forever? Are you really considering me as your general? The silly little demon nodded enthusiastically. Where darling is, I'll be there. Whatever the general orders, I'll do. Darling says, and I follow. As Lily spoke, she leaped with excitement. Watching this, Fagin blushed with embarrassment. Is this real, or am I dreaming? He wondered, struggling to comprehend the situation. She was a demoness who had supposedly slumbered in a princess's tomb for thousands of years, according to legend. Despite his doubts, Fagin seemed reluctant to challenge her decision. Taking a deep breath, Fant finally said, All right then, come with me. Lily curiously examined everything in his house as they walked. Meanwhile, Fant pondered whether having a demoness tagging along just because she claimed to be his wife was really that terrifying. Let me check something with you, he said, leading Lily to the bathroom. Upon noticing the large mirror, Lily seemed intrigued. Wow, this is huge. Why did the general bring me here? She asked. Standing opposite her, Fant recalled her earlier statement. You said I'm your husband and whatever the husband says, you'll do, right? He asked again. Blushing, Lily affirmed, yes, that's right, darling. Fant remained silent for a moment before breaking into a slightly mischievous smile. This is what I was talking about. What I want to teach you now is a... Lily tensed, expecting something profound. To her surprise, Fant simply said, I want to teach you how to brush your teeth properly. Since you'll be staying here with me, you need to brush your teeth every morning and night, he explained. I'll get you toothpaste and a toothbrush. First, let me show you how to use them. Demonstrating, he squeezed some toothpaste onto the toothbrush, put it into his mouth, and moved it up and down. This is how you clean your teeth. Finally, rinse with water and spit out the foam. Lily listened intently, then suddenly grabbed the toothbrush from Fant's hand and placed it in her mouth, surprising him. This is how you brush your teeth, right? She asked. Fant blushed slightly. That's my toothbrush. Though he maintained a composed exterior, Fant internally screamed. Isn't that basically an indirect kiss? He thought, feeling a mix of embarrassment and surprise. As Lily continued brushing, she looked both adorable and clueless, creating an amusing scene. Does darling do it like this too? She asked while still brushing, her gaze fixed on Fant. Suddenly Fant's heartbeat quickened. Too cute, he whispered to himself. Smiling warmly, he took the toothbrush back. Consider this test passed. But from now on, no using my toothbrush. I'll set things up for you. Thank you, husband. After finishing washing, she brought over a toothbrush and handed it to him. He gently rubbed her head and reassured her, it's okay, but why do you keep calling me your husband? Are you still treating me this well? Lily truly had no idea how to respond. I don't remember very clearly either, she admitted. It seemed like her memory was foggy. The only thing she could recall was that he was her husband and that she had been waiting for him for a long time. Staring at her own reflection in the mirror, Lily added, looking somewhat lost, that she was searching for something crucial. Hearing this, Fant grew suspicious. Given her memory loss, what exactly was she trying to find? There was no doubt she was looking for something, which made her approach him in silence. Lily continued, but no matter how much I think about it, it doesn't get any clearer. It's frustrating. It feels like I'm searching for something very important. Fant remained deep in thought for a moment. Lily then added, it's like looking for a hair clip? The hairpin on my head? A hair clip, my hairpin. I'm not entirely sure what it is. Listening to her, Fant mused silently, I've taught her everything I needed to. It's time to leave the bathroom. He then gestured towards Lily. You should go back to your room. I'll return to mine after finishing my hygiene routine. Having an additional demon in the house was already giving Fant a headache even in the most peaceful moments of his life. It seemed like she had forgotten everything. People say demons exist because of unfulfilled desires. Had she forgotten hers? Suddenly, Fant became alert, feeling a slight unease. There she was, staring intently at his younger brother. What was she planning? Lily honestly replied, of course, I'm waiting for my husband. This response plunged both of them into silence. Left with no other option, Fant decided to send her outside. Go wait outside. I'll join you shortly. Now he could finally take a moment to collect his thoughts. In summary, Fant decided to wait a little longer before probing deeper into the situation. It was difficult to make an accurate judgment at the moment. Her seemingly harmless demeanor could be deceptive. Perhaps it was all a facade. Once she achieved her goal, would she reveal her true nature, possibly exposing her fangs? Despite her adorable and likable appearance, addressing him as a general only emphasized the vast difference between humans and demons. They belonged to two entirely different worlds. The more he thought about it, the more impossible it seemed. As he walked back to his room, he pondered how he could devise a quick plan to make her leave as soon as possible. But as Lily opened the door, an unexpected sight left Fant petrified. Lily was lying on his bed, wearing only his shirt. She was reading a book he had hidden in a secret cabinet, and to his shock, she was deeply engrossed in it. Fant couldn't help but shout, attempting to snatch the book back, but she swiftly flew up, evading his grasp. His face turned red with embarrassment. She had found the book under his bed, and now they were caught in a peculiar chase. One trying to retrieve the book, the other keeping it away. Holding the book, Lily curiously questioned why the characters in the story weren't wearing clothes. Are they husbands and wives? She asked. No! Fant screamed, horrified at the misunderstanding. He didn't want this demon to think he was some kind of pervert. He hastily explained that an irresponsible old man had deliberately given her the book, which she had just happened to find. Lily, still puzzled, asked why the demoness in the book was kneeling and bowing before her supposed general. Fant remained silent, unsure of how to explain it to the innocent paper figure. Growing frustrated, Fant quickly snatched the book back, warning Lily about the importance of seeking permission before going through his belongings. Just as he was about to continue discussing her lost memories from earlier, Lily unexpectedly flew over, getting close to his face. Before he could finish his sentence, she softly asked if the drawings in the book weren't accurate. After a brief moment of reflection, she seemed to recall something and lunged toward Fant like a hungry tiger. He panicked, instinctively covering the most vulnerable part of his body. Seeing how seriously she was taking the book's illustrations, he realized she was genuinely trying to imitate them. She then suggested, "The general should dress first." With determination, Lily stated she would only do such things with her general, causing Fant to blush slightly at the unexpected turn of events. Trying to shake off the images from the book, Fant found himself caught in a rather awkward situation. Lily, however, was determined, claiming she would only undress for her husband. As she moved swiftly toward him, Fant barely managed to dodge her and, in an attempt to diffuse the tension, suggested they sit and talk casually. He reminded her that they were still just getting to know each other and that she shouldn't rush into such things. Despite the unusual circumstances, Fant was resolute in maintaining a defensive stance, refusing to let the demoness take advantage of the situation. However, his rational thinking quickly began to fade. The thought of Lily in her demonic form brought a somewhat sinister smile to his face. But if she insisted on continuing, he felt powerless to stop her. Maybe listening to her was the only option. Surprisingly, the demoness appeared meek and showed no intention of acting on the book's suggestions. Suddenly, the mischievous expression on Lily's face transformed into an innocent one. It was an abrupt and strange shift. After a moment, Fant managed to regain his composure. He quickly shook his head, wondering what kind of indecent thoughts had crossed his mind. Finally, he let out a deep breath, relieved. Returning to the main topic, he suggested they resume their search. But before he could finish his sentence, Lily eagerly spoke up. "I already know. The characters in the book don't wear clothes, so I won't either." Without giving Fant a chance to react, she quickly cast a spell. With a mysterious incantation, the buttons on her clothes came undone in an instant, completing her mission. Fant found himself completely overwhelmed once again. His words poured out uncontrollably as he struggled to process the situation. It seemed the little demoness knew exactly how to seduce others. Approaching him even closer, she asked, "Darling, do you like me like this?" Fant felt like a helpless rabbit caught before an ancient predator. Just before their lips could touch, however, he was saved by a last-minute burst of willpower. He quickly grabbed his shirt, narrowly avoiding disaster. Realizing he had barely escaped the demoness' clutches, Fant hastily put on his shirt. Later, he firmly reminded Lily not to follow the book anymore. If she could adhere to that, perhaps, just perhaps, he might accept her. This time, Lily behaved obediently. Fant, feeling curious, asked why she didn't use magic to create clothes. Lily promptly responded that she couldn't transform clothes. Then, she took his shirt and sniffed it, claiming it carried the darling's scent. Fagin grew increasingly embarrassed by her seemingly indifferent actions and cautioned her not to sniff things randomly. Surprisingly, she obeyed. Despite having spent time with Lily, Fagin still had many questions. After contemplating, he asked if she was a real demon. Lily, puzzled, shook her head. When Fant inquired about her nature, she replied that she was a soul materialized from a certain attachment. Fagin then proposed helping her find her lost hairpin. Observing Lily's silence, he deduced that they needed to find the hairpin for her to leave. Fant asked if she remembered where she had lost it, but she couldn't recall. Instead of answering, she simply stated that she was hungry. Surprised that a soul could experience hunger, Fant offered to share some food. Taking her to the refrigerator, he wondered if she could eat human food. Lily, floating beside him, found the contemporary dishes strange. Fagin picked up a sandwich and handed it to her. Lily took a big bite, then shook her head and returned the sandwich to Fant. Curious about her reaction, Fant asked if the food didn't suit her taste, but she explained that it wasn't enough. Lily said she wanted to consume energy instead. He questioned where she could find suitable food and, unsure of what to offer, asked for her preferences. After a brief contemplation, Lily mentioned that there might be something delicious nearby. She then pulled both of them into the air, and suddenly, the surroundings were bathed in a strange green light. Fagin was confused. He was really flying. They arrived at a high school that looked eerie. Fant recognized it from the news as a place known for strange phenomena that had halted the construction of a theme park. Residents had moved away, leaving it deserted due to supernatural occurrences. Fant felt a sense of fear and horror as he recalled the rumors of paranormal activities. He asked Lily why they were there, but while he was gripped with fear, she was filled with excitement. She mentioned that something delicious was nearby. Fagin, uneasy, asked what specific food she desired, but hesitated to voice his suspicion that it might be connected to dark entities. Lily's eagerness unsettled him, and as she excitedly spoke of a delicacy, he felt something was wrong and quickly retreated. Though he was a man, he was afraid of ghosts. Kwong boldly announced that she would go in with him and not leave him outside. Fagin tried to convince her that if she could eat alone, she didn't need him to follow. However, Lily playfully stated that she couldn't be too far from her husband and nudged him forward, sweet-talking him until she eventually pushed him into the school. Fant reluctantly agreed, while Lily joyfully led the way as if she were taking her to Wong Tong to savor a treat. They discussed the recent mysterious disappearances at the high school, particularly that of a 6th-grade student named Lila. She had vanished without a trace, and even surveillance cameras showed no evidence of her leaving the school. A month later, Lila's mutilated body reappeared in a classroom, sparking terror among teachers and students. Authorities sealed off the area and conducted forensic examinations, discovering that she had died at least a month earlier with no apparent cause of death. Strangely, her body had seemed to spontaneously reappear. A month after that incident, the former principal hung himself at the school, further adding to the eerie events. The high school gained notoriety for its strange occurrences. Despite attempts to demolish it, the deserted school remained standing, becoming a site of ongoing mysterious happenings. Lila's body inexplicably vanished once again, and the former principal's suicide deepened the enigma. Fant, disturbed by the unnerving stories and sensing something abnormal, felt his face pale. The torn surroundings seemed to hold inexplicable mysteries. As he processed the consecutive incidents, Fagin's unease grew, making it difficult for him to stand as his legs trembled. He attempted to persuade Lily to reconsider, expressing concern about the unsettling history of the place. However, Lily remained uninterested, preoccupied with the thought of her anticipated meal. Ignoring Fagin's apprehension, she playfully circled him like an eager puppy awaiting a treat. Despite his reluctance, Fant followed Lily toward the school. The tales of the mysterious disappearances, Lila's reappearing body, and the principal's suicide had shaken the community. Yet Lily remained unfazed, solely focused on finding her meal. Inside the school, Lily continued acting carefree, running around Fant with excitement despite the eerie atmosphere. He couldn't shake the feeling that she might not be entirely trustworthy. However, he pressed on as his wife seemed determined to explore. Upon reaching the second floor, Lily suddenly disappeared, throwing Fant into a panic. Frantically calling out for her, he felt the protective shield around him waver. Amid the disarray, he heard Lily's voice urging him to follow. Eventually, they arrived at an old room where Lily declared she had found her delicious meal. Despite the dusty environment, her eyes lit up at the sight of an old comb resting on a table. Curious, Fagin approached and immediately sensed a cold, eerie presence in the room. Before he could react, Lily swiftly grabbed the comb and absorbed the dark energy it emitted. Fant, perplexed by her actions, watched as she consumed the energy and, appearing satisfied, declared the meal delicious. Her peculiar behavior left Fant with lingering questions about what exactly she was eating. After finishing, her once chilly breath seemed to dissipate. Fant carefully examined the hairbrushes. Lily, in her usual innocent and cheerful manner, explained that the energy within it had made her feel full. Fagin suspected that there was some peculiar force in the environment, possibly tied to a supernatural entity. Though just a fleeting thought, he felt that his suspicions might be correct. Lily, however, was still not satisfied. When Fant asked if there was a better place for her to eat, she had no idea. Fant decided to take matters into his own hands and devised an idea. He wanted Lily to help him make money by using her ability to sense spiritual energy. When he asked if she could detect the location of other spiritual energies, Lily looked slightly surprised but admitted that she could sense their direction. Excited by this realization, Fant suggested creating a video to explore the mysterious in hopes of gaining fame. Lily agreed to help him find something even better in the area. "Here is a business opportunity. Let's make it happen," Fant declared. First, he instructed Lily on how to film the video, ensuring she understood before they began. The procedure began as they started recording. Fant was thrilled about the idea of exploring supernatural phenomena, believing that creating a video series could bring both fame and fortune. While Lily eagerly recorded, Fant detailed the history of the abandoned high school, mentioning mysterious disappearances, strange occurrences, and the legends surrounding the place. The scene was set in an old, run-down room with boarded-up windows, adding to the eerie atmosphere. As Fant spoke, the hairbrush, which contained spiritual energy, suddenly emitted a strong wave of energy. Lily, sensing it, felt tempted by the energy but resisted, recalling Fant's advice to focus on the video first. Determined to ignore it, she pushed the thought aside. However, as the mysterious events continued to unfold, Lily's desire for the tempting energy grew stronger. Fant continued narrating the school's history, mentioning the disappearance of a girl named Lila and the subsequent suicide of the former principal. The atmosphere became increasingly tense as the spiritual energy in the room intensified. Throughout the recording, Fant remained unaware of the strange occurrences, emphasizing the importance of capturing everything on camera. The hairbrush emitted spiritual energy once again, and Lily felt its pull more strongly. Fant wrapped up the introduction, hinting that the room they were in might hold the key to the school's many mysteries. Earlier, during their exploration, I had unexpectedly found a hairbrush meant for a young girl on the principal's desk. As I reached for it, the brush seemed to evade my grasp, and when I looked down, it started floating around, almost as if teasing me. Yet, Fant remained completely oblivious to anything unusual. He even speculated whether Lily was using her spiritual energy to create special effects for the show. Suddenly, a gray arm with red claws emerged from behind and grabbed my hand. A horrifying female ghost appeared, her disheveled hair, blood-stained eyes, and deathly pale face adding to her terrifying presence. The supernatural entity tightened its grip around my throat, making any sound or movement impossible. I felt paralyzed, completely unable to react, as if the entity possessed some kind of immobilizing power. In my subconscious, my first instinct was to call for Lily's help. Desperately, I tried to cry out, but as the malevolent figure drew closer, my despair deepened. Lily, completely unaware of my distress, remained focused on her task. The demonic force grew stronger, and my body became even more rigid. I called out to Lily once again, my voice filled with desperation. Yet, she appeared indifferent, her attention solely fixed on her upcoming meal. I couldn't understand how she remained so unaffected. The demonic entity's power continued to rise, and sweat poured down my face. Finally, I pleaded with Lily for help, feeling utterly overwhelmed. Yet, she seemed oblivious to the dire situation, my desperate pleas going unanswered as she continued to pursue her much-anticipated meal. Despite the looming danger, I didn't give up, calling her name with all my might. Little did I know, Lily had already sensed the danger earlier but had chosen to prioritize her immediate desire for food. The demonic force's grip tightened and I broke into a cold sweat, my desperation reaching its peak. I begged Lily once more, fearing that I would not be able to withstand the torment any longer. Just when it seemed hopeless, the enchanted ring on my hand suddenly surged with power, strengthening my will to survive. With newfound determination, I seized the ghostly entity's hand, startling it and forcing it to recoil. At that moment, a brilliant golden light surrounded me, emanating a powerful force. Seizing the opportunity, I hurled the malevolent spirit aside, leaving it writhing in pain. As I regained control, my fear was momentarily replaced by curiosity about the source of this incredible newfound power. Despite my relief, the immediate challenge was handling the vengeful spirit. It sat in agony, moaning. I pondered the mysterious strength that had been granted to me and questioned why it had treated me so cruelly. As Fan stood in confusion, the vengeful spirit suddenly slammed onto the ground before rising again with a sudden burst of strength. It charged directly at me while I remained in a dazed state. A mysterious sound echoed, prompting Fant to sit down and, without control, follow the sound. Eventually, I managed to dodge an attack from the ghostly figure. Fant strengthened herself, realizing that her newfound agility was a result of my influence. He too sensed the unusual transformation in his body, now remarkably flexible. Taking advantage of Fagin's distraction, she marveled at her enhanced abilities. The ghostly figure attempted to escape, but an invisible barrier, created by Lily, blocked its way. Lily, acting as the guiding voice, calmly observed the battle while simultaneously fulfilling her role as the cameraman. I quickly realized that the voice in my head belonged to Lily and that my newfound strength came from her. My entire body became enveloped in a powerful force, significantly boosting my confidence. Now more self-assured, Fan enjoyed the unfolding situation. The once formidable malevolent spirit now seemed weak and vulnerable. It appeared confused, wondering how it could have been overpowered. Seizing the moment, Fant mocked the spirit, emphasizing its weakened state. The ghostly figure made another attempt to flee but was restrained by an invisible force that Lily had conjured. Perhaps even you did not anticipate that this ghostly figure possessed some level of intelligence. Heroes often struggle to navigate the trials posed by enchanting duties. The spirit then transformed into a fully formed water girl with even fairer skin. Observing Fagin momentarily frozen, it became evident that the spirit was aware of the situation. Taking the initiative, the alluring spirit approached, whispering softly as she held Fagin's hand, pleading to be released. Amid these temptations, Fant appeared briefly entranced, and the spirit likely sensed that its strategy was working. Desperate to be set free, the spirit continued to plead, promising obedience if Fant released it. Moving even closer, it licked Fagin's ear, eliciting a peculiar sensation. However, the fleeting pleasure was swiftly erased as a cold breeze ran down Fant's spine, causing him to shudder. If I was fascinated by this demon girl, it became clear that Lily was preparing for her transformation. As Fant regained composure, she refused to give in to the spirit's advances, firmly rejecting it. In response to Fagin's defiance, the spirit, now a water girl, seemed to acknowledge its dire predicament. Attempting to negotiate once more, it proposed that Fant could be set free in exchange for compliance. Just as Fant seemed captivated, the female ghost unleashed a burst of energy toward him. Thankfully, in that very moment, he managed to break free from her enchanting beauty. He released her hand, and the female ghost began to unveil her true form, surrounded by a strange, dark aura, appearing even more menacing than before. "You've been deceived," she chuckled. "Earlier, I approached you just to absorb your spiritual energy. Now, I've grown much stronger." Without delay, she darted toward him, her sharp nails raking across Fant's back, sending him flying. His clothes tore apart, exposing deep scratches on his back. Having regained the upper hand, she cheerfully thanked him for the energy. "You can't escape," she taunted, striking again, this time slashing his shoulder and knee. Fant's speed increased with each moment. She tried to overpower him using sound waves, but this time Fant grabbed her, determined not to let her attack again. "You dare attack me again? You're not getting away this time," he vowed. Before she could counter, Fant slapped her, jolting her back to reality. "You only know how to attack but never learn anything worthwhile," he scolded. Furious, the female ghost tried to speak, but before she could get a word out, Fant slapped her again and again. "What are you? You think you're right?" he shouted. "Look at the scratches you left on me," he exclaimed, slamming her head down onto the table. "I'm here to explore," he declared. "To suppress these demonic creatures and spread righteousness wherever I go." As Lily absorbed the energy, Fant turned to question the female ghost. "What kind of demon are you? Why are you here hurting people?" he demanded. Suddenly, the female ghost began to cry like a child, leaving Fant stunned. "Why is she crying?" he wondered, starting to feel like the villain in this strange scene. After Fant released the ghost, she wept and slowly began to fade away, leaving him completely puzzled. But then again, the female ghost cried like a child, leaving Fant bewildered. "What's happening? Why is she crying? Am I the villain here?" he thought, confused by what was unfolding. After he set her free, she sobbed, gradually fading out of sight. "Why is she crying? Why is she treating me like this? He asked himself. Her form slowly changed and she transformed into Lila, a young girl with rosy cheeks, and her hair returned to its natural state. Still teary-eyed, Lila asked, Why did you treat me like that? Fent, taken aback by the unexpected reunion, asked, Lila? Is it really you? How did you die back then? Why did you try to attack me earlier? Is someone else here besides you? Visibly distressed, Lila responded through her tears, He forced me. He forced me. I didn't want to. Sensing a deeper truth in her words, Fent pressed further. Who forced you? Is it related to your death? He couldn't imagine someone like innocent Lila behaving this way. Gently, he pulled her into a comforting embrace. Tell me everything. Don't worry, I'll help you, he assured her. Lila hesitated, then slowly confessed, He. Suddenly, a strange black void appeared behind Lila and quickly began to suck her in. Despite Fent's swift reaction, he couldn't save her in time. Hold on. I'll save you, he yelled, reaching out to her. Lila, also reaching out, cried out desperately, Please save me. Lila. Fent screamed, stretching his hand toward her. Hold on, I'll save you. But it was too late. Darkness completely swallowed her. Fent stumbled backward, muttering, What is this? Before him, a mysterious black smoke cleared to reveal an old, bald demon. You dare touch my Lila? The demon growled, baring its fangs and lunging straight at Fent. This creature was on a completely different level, towering over Fent with immense power. As Fent tried to figure out how to handle this monstrous foe, the demon was already preparing to strike. But just in time, Lily appeared, forming a protective barrier around them both. What do you want? Lily demanded. Although neither of them was harmed, the sheer force of the demon's attack was overwhelming. Despite the barrier, Fent lost consciousness from the impact. Lily quickly transferred her consciousness to Fent. However, due to this distraction, the demon, Kia, had already broken through their defenses, leaving both of them vulnerable. In his subconscious, Fent realized the grave danger Lily was in, but his eyes remained shut, unable to act. When he finally awakened, the first person he saw was Lily, who looked visibly relieved. You're awake, my darling, Lily said with a bright smile, indicating that Fent had regained consciousness. However, their precarious position, perched on a tree branch, was less than ideal. Before Fent could fully regain his senses, he slipped and fell. Fortunately, Lily's magic kicked in, saving him from hitting the ground. This is the gate of the high school. Let's get out of here, Lily suggested, noticing Fent's distress. After discovering their escape route, Fent felt a wave of relief mixed with concern. We got out, but what about that black monster? What is it? How strong is it? Why didn't you fight back? He asked. Reading Fent's thoughts, Lily paused thoughtfully before answering. Our spiritual energy is insufficient. Going back to the school now is too risky. After spending several hours together, Fent began to better understand the way demonists communicate. So, the black monster appeared last? How strong is it really? Why didn't you fight it? He asked again, wanting clarity. Lily placed a hand on her chin, seriously weighing her words. Her tone grew solemn as she answered, My spiritual strength isn't enough. Returning to the school now would be incredibly dangerous. Then she handed the phone back to Fent. After that, with a cheerful tone, she presented a finger from the demon creature she had collected earlier, eager to enjoy a meal. This sudden shift in tone startled Fent. Looking at the finger with unease, he asked, What even is this thing? Where did it come from? Floating in the air, Lily hugged the bizarre digit. It's a delicacy, she said. I grabbed it for us when I took you out. Fent, horrified, could only wonder how she intended to eat it. Would she stir-fry it once they got home? Lily shook her head, clearly pleased. She then absorbed the dark energy from the finger directly into her mouth. Eventually, she felt so delighted that she wanted to shout, It's delicious. After the meal, she transmitted a strange light to Fent, instantly surrounding him with countless sources of green energy. This is it, but it's so fleeting, Fent realized, feeling the power within him and wondering what had happened after he'd passed out. How had she managed to get him out? And what exactly was this power now flowing through his body? Before Lily could explain, the sun had already risen and her body began to emit thick black smoke. Honey, we should go home now, she said frantically, flying back to avoid the sunlight. Eventually, they returned to Fagin's old apartment after a night spent foraging for food. Lily, terrified, sought refuge in the darkest corner of the house. But the black smoke still lingered, showing no signs of disappearing. Indeed, her spiritual body remained fearful of the sunlight. Fent quickly closed all the curtains and turned on the lights, blocking out every single ray of sunlight. Once the room was fully shaded, Lily seemed re-energized. She rushed to Fent and thanked him. Fagin, blushing, gently pushed her away and sat down. This gesture made Lily angry. Fant looked at her suddenly as if realizing he was raising a small creature. He reached out and caressed her face, which made her smile. Returning to the topic of the curtains, Fant was visibly worried about Lily's safety. "These curtains aren't good enough," he said. "Soon the sun will be high and they might not shield you." Lily pointed at the necklace around her neck. "I can hide inside Darling's body. Darling made a pact with me. As long as he's here, I won't die." Fant, confused, asked her to explain. Lily clarified, "Darling said he wanted to marry me. On that fateful night, Vagant made the promise. That's how I entered into a pact with him." She showed the ring on her finger. "Now, Darling and I are one. As long as he finds me delicious food, I can regain my strength." Fant held his head, overwhelmed. "Wait, hold on. What are you talking about? What pact? When did I sign anything? Why don't I remember?" Lily nodded happily. "Yes, Darling can now share strength with me." Hearing this, Fagin felt even more miserable. It seemed his intention to drive her away had failed. Meanwhile, back at the abandoned middle school, Lila had been captured by the assailant. He slammed her against the wall. "Let yourself become a murderer," he growled. Not only did she resist, but he also wanted her to expose him to others. As he continued speaking, his tone grew more and more deranged. Grabbing Lila by the neck, he lifted her higher. "You should know," he snarled. "If you don't kill them, we'll die." Lila, in pain, could barely make a sound. The demon became more frenzied, muttering nonsense. "Lila is mine. I won't let you go. Never." The more she heard, the more hopeless she became, her eyes losing all signs of escape. A new day began. Fant started his morning with a bowl of beef noodles from Mr. Cappen's shop. "Mr. Cappen, are my noodles ready?" The shop owner greeted him warmly. "You're up early today, huh? Usually you show up when I'm about to close." After a long, eventful night, Fant still had plenty of energy. He chatted cheerfully with Mr. Cappen. "That old man's still the same," Fant said casually. "Remember how that special guest described my dish? Spicy beef noodles, extra onions, no cilantro, right?" Seeing the bowl placed before him, Fant's eyes lit up, much like how Lily reacted to energy. "Oh, this smells amazing. Thank you, Mr. Cappen." All right. Only you talk so sweet. Take your time. I've got work to do." Mr. Cappen walked away. Unlike other mornings, today Fant ate while chatting with Lily. "Right, you mentioned earlier that your spiritual power isn't enough?" "Yes," Lily replied cheerfully. "I've lost a lot of strength. To restore it, I must absorb energy." Fant asked, "So, what ways can you use to regain your strength?" "I can restore some of it by eating delicious food," she explained. "Also, absorbing others' fear helps with recovery." Fant was surprised. "Fear? Yes. Speaking of which, remember our first encounter at the princess's tomb? After meeting Darling, I received a lot of strength," she added. Listening to her, he seemed to understand a bit more. Apparently, spiritual beings could increase their power by frightening the living and absorbing their fear. That's why supernatural stories often featured terrifying scenes. Thinking back to that live stream, Fant began to connect the dots. With hundreds of thousands watching, the audience's collective fear helped Lily regain her consciousness and clarity. After finishing his noodles, Fant cheerfully waved goodbye to Mr. Cappen. Mr. Cappen noted it in the debt book, and Fant gave a quick thumbs up before heading out. Later, both returned home. Lily floated mid-air, playing with a new toy, a phone. Fant thought deeply about the video from the previous night. She had used magic to shoot it, creating a stunning clip with stable footage and perfect angles. With proper editing, background music, and commentary, it was bound to go viral. The video would likely scare a massive audience, feeding Lily even more fear energy. After finishing it, Fant sent the footage to director Tom for post-production. He wanted to say something to Lily, but before he could, she floated over looking upset. She asked him to address her more intimately. Her expression shifted from displeased to cheerful when he agreed to her new title. Fant sighed in relief, and they continued discussing the events from the night before. Lily couldn't help but drool at the memory of the enormous monster. Fant agreed it had been tasty. He asked if there was a way to deal with that creature again, hinting at his intention to return and rescue Lila. Fagin suggested that if they could go back to the school and uncover the high school's secrets, the resulting video would be even more popular than the one about the princess's tomb. He promised to help Lila by thoroughly investigating the school. Yet, an unresolved question still lingered. Nothing could be truly settled until the hairpin was found, a crucial piece of the story. Fan held Lily's hand and asked about the hairpin again. But her answer left him disheartened. Lily admitted that her hairpin had been stolen half a year ago. As she spoke, her expression grew more sorrowful and her eyes seemed to well up. She pleaded with Darling to help her find it, emphasizing its importance. Fan gently stroked her head. "We're a team now. If it's that important to you, then I'm determined to find it." He asked, "Can you defeat that monster from last night?" Lily replied confidently, "Yes, I can if I find the hairpin." However, neither of them knew where to start. They agreed to search for it but had no clue about the thief or even what the hairpin looked like. Fagin felt stuck. Maybe the person had already left the city, he wondered aloud. But Lily quickly dismissed that idea after absorbing some energy. The night before, Lily had sensed some signs about the location of the hairpin. Although vague, she felt the person might still be somewhere in the city. This was seen as a positive first clue, at least they had some direction. Therefore, they decided to search for the hairpin first and then continue investigating the grave robbery. However, just as Faguin was contemplating the case, he received a message on his mobile phone. It wasn't from Director Tom, as he initially assumed, but rather from the police, warning of deliberate attacks occurring within the city. A strange feeling began to take hold that the world was becoming increasingly bizarre. The next morning, at Director Tom's office building, everyone felt disheartened due to the lack of work. A brown-haired employee walked past, holding a coffee cup and sighing. He recalled that after completing Mr. Faguin's last order, no new tasks had been assigned for the past 2 days. Except for the day before, they had received nothing. When Fant was mentioned, a man sitting and smoking grew furious. He threw his hat on the table and demanded not to bring up that night around him. The pressure of work had become overwhelming and the atmosphere at the office was tense. Someone even whispered that they should resign after finishing this month. He also mentioned that the tall, old man had quit yesterday. Despite Director Tom being kind, the current situation was discouraging enough to make others consider leaving. At that moment, Director Tom walked in with a new job announcement. He was excited as he shared that this task had also been assigned by Mr. Fant. One of the employees voiced concern about needing to go to a cemetery to livestream. No one wanted to accept the job, but Director Tom insisted it had potential. If successful, it could bring in a significant commission. The brown-haired employee concluded that this was probably another video involving supernatural exploration unless it turned out like last time when they actually encountered a demon. Nowadays, there were too many similar videos. Another employee agreed, remembering how they had barely escaped with their lives during a previous shoot. Director Tom, noticing the skepticism, looked visibly irritated. Still, he assured everyone that this time would be different. He claimed the video would go viral and even hinted that a treasure had been found. Perhaps this time, their studio could be revived and even make waves in the industry. The four of them began watching the video together. They were surprised by how realistic the effects looked. Watching it gave them a genuine sense of horror. Some hugged each other tightly, struggling to breathe. One even started foaming at the mouth. As they continued watching, one particular employee suddenly fainted, trembling uncontrollably. When they woke up, they were disoriented, unable to comprehend how the video could cause such a reaction. Someone wondered if the video had been edited or used virtual effects, but even Director Tom was unable to explain it. He was shocked to find no traces of editing or post-production in the footage. The video ended, leaving behind more questions than answers. How did Lila die? Who was responsible? Was the video linked to the mysterious case from 10 years ago? Director Tom confirmed that the girl in the footage looked exactly like the one featured in the old newspaper article. Everyone agreed the video was eerily strange. After verifying the resemblance, Director Tom grew even more excited. The footage hadn't been altered, yet it had caught the attention of experienced team members like them. They believed that with proper editing and release, it could become incredibly popular. Mr. Fant even promised additional rewards if the video became a hit. "Watch this," someone said. "I've created a special cover for the novel with an improved title, high-quality sound, and background music." Just the cover alone gave off a creepy vibe. Director Tom couldn't stop praising their work. The eerie atmosphere had intensified after editing. After 4 hours of hard work, the team finished editing the video. Director Tom proudly boasted about his editing skills but humbly admitted that the original footage was already very well shot. When asked if anything else needed to be edited, director Tom confidently replied, "Just send the file, I'll upload it as is." Some people were confused, but director Tom had faith in their techniques and chose not to get further confirmation from Mr. Fan. At the Billy headquarters, employees continued with their regular duties. Fogwin's video was quickly reviewed. At first glance, it seemed to revolve around a girl's suicide case from 10 years ago with some exploratory elements. Some believed it was just another prank video. Still, the video's cover received praise for its beauty and appeal. Most of the time, these types of videos lacked substance. Perhaps this one was no different, but the cover truly stood out. One person, while holding a hot water bottle and preparing coffee, suddenly saw a strange black creature appear in the video clip. Startled, they spilled the boiling water on their pants. "Ouch! Hot, hot, I'm burning," they shouted. The sudden commotion drew everyone's attention. However, Zed paid closer attention to the clip. He was truly amazed and watched it again, whispering, "Is this video really that incredible?" He then called his colleagues over. "Come here, everyone. Watch this video." Excitement had already been building as more people watched it. "What's this video about, Mr. Zed?" someone asked. It had been a long time since anyone had seen him this excited. Zed responded with interest, saying, "Lately, all the videos have been so dull, I end up falling asleep. Rarely do I come across a high-quality one like this. I have a feeling it's going to be huge." While everyone was talking about Mr. Fan, he was leisurely strolling down the street, yawning. Through the transmission, he followed up on the strong lead Lily had provided, looking into information from 6 months earlier. In a village near the princess's tomb, some people had reported seeing 3 individuals behaving suspiciously, seemingly searching for something. When residents alerted the police, a search was conducted. In the end, only 2 suspects were caught, both with criminal records as grave robbers. However, the third person's whereabouts remained unknown. The 2 arrested were mentally unstable, as if they had seen something unimaginably terrifying. In prison, they kept smashing things and shouting, "There are demons! Demons!" Eventually, the police could only explain it as a case of extreme mental stress, and both were detained for the theft of antiquities. However, a suspicious detail stood out. The police had found no evidence of digging around the princess's tomb. Both individuals who were aware of the incident's progression had lost their minds. Could there be a secret tomb? And where exactly is it located? To this day, the mystery remains unsolved. They likely took the hairpin from her, without a doubt. The third person involved in the chaos had escaped. The more Fan spoke, the more serious he became, raising suspicions that someone else might be hiding behind the actions of those 3, possibly people connected to the high school. Since there wasn't a single trace of the grave robber, Fan grew impatient. He asked her again if she was certain the person who stole the hairpin was in the city. Lily emerged from his body. "Yep, we're getting closer now." This sudden action left Fan startled and confused. He shielded himself. "Don't just appear like that, my lady. There are a lot of people here. If they see you, I won't be able to explain." "Don't worry," she replied. "Wait until we're in a quiet place and I'll come out again." Just a moment earlier, while wandering through the streets, Fan had noticed something odd. It wasn't even dark yet, but the streets were strangely empty. Perhaps it had something to do with the police warning earlier, something about not going out at night. Still, he pressed on in his search for his own hairpin. "Where should we go now?" he asked. Lily's tiny finger appeared on his palm, pointing in a direction. "That way, look down the alley." She seemed a little surprised as the area was unusually crowded. Indeed, a horrifying murder had just occurred there. Curious onlookers filled the alley. On the ground lay a bottle of red wine, nearly empty. Beside it, a decomposing corpse with visible bones shocked everyone. People around whispered endlessly about the terrifying sight. "This guy's scary even in death." "Exactly. This is bizarre." Even Officer Theo had arrived. It was clear this case wasn't ordinary. The police officer, Theo, was a middle-aged man with red hair and a scar on his face. Casually smoking a cigarette, he asked his subordinates, "What do you make of this case?" People gathered around the scene, whispering in fear. "Why does that body look like a mummy?" "That's right. And this is already the 3rd case. Have you noticed? Over the past few years, security in High City has been getting worse. Last month's case was strange too." Fan stood among the crowd, silently observing. Officer Theo gently placed a hand on his shoulder. He dismissed all impossible explanations, emphasizing that only one possibility remained. "Get ready to leave," he said. "I've informed my superiors. A warning will be issued for everyone to stay indoors at night. The rest will have to leave to another department." He stared at the crowd as if trying to pick out a familiar face. Fant's image had clearly left a strong impression on him. But Officer Theo eventually left. This only confirmed that the world was far more complicated than it appeared. At that same moment, in an abandoned mansion far from the city center, a strange man was performing a bizarre ritual. He lit a candle in front of a wall and knelt, holding a hairpin before him. "It's time," he whispered. As the candle flickered out, thousands of eyes appeared on the wall, filling the space with a heavy atmosphere. "Oh, it's time to hunt. Get ready, we can leave at any moment." A red aura began to blanket the room. "Do well," a monster said, transforming into another form before leaping onto the man's neck. The man trembled in fear. "Until the final moment of the hunt," he muttered, preparing to search for prey. Meanwhile, Fant and Lily were sitting in a nearby bar, trying to evaluate the situation. "How do you feel?" Fant asked. Lily answered, "The energy has seemed weaker for a while now. That recent crime scene might be connected, possibly caused by the person we're looking for. The victim's body carries the scent of her hairpin." She sniffed the air again and pointed toward the door. "I can sense it, the hairpin is just outside. Look at the people near the entrance." Fant became alert upon seeing the crowd. "But who is it?" he asked. Lily wasn't certain either. Still, she felt one of them had to be their target. It wasn't clear, but better than having no clue. "What should we do?" Fant asked. Lily said they needed to carefully approach each person. Unfortunately, just as they were moving forward, Fant was spotted by a passing girl, who suddenly invited him to share a drink. The girl, without hesitation, placed her hand gently on his face and brushed it affectionately. Her chest pressed against Fant as she suggested grabbing a drink and chatting elsewhere. Fant felt uneasy but quickly gathered himself and pushed her away. "Sorry, I've got something to do," he said. But the girl didn't give up. She kept advancing. "Don't be shy. We're both young. We can grab a drink together," she insisted. By now, Fant was visibly uncomfortable. "We really shouldn't," he said. Yet the girl remained persistent. Lily, noticing how awkward things were getting, felt uneasy and warned Fant. Before they could leave, something unexpected happened. The girl Fant rejected suddenly collapsed to the ground. The surrounding crowd, especially a group of leaders nearby, turned their attention to the scene. Despite Fant's efforts to explain, he was misunderstood, and the situation quickly escalated. "You've got some nerve, kid, coming into our turf and causing trouble," one of them said. Fant tried to explain quickly, but the leader wasn't interested. "Take him to the conference room," he ordered his followers. Tension rose as Lily and Fant were surrounded. Lily realized they wouldn't get out of this without a fight. Meanwhile, a drunken office worker staggered down the road on his way home. In his inebriated state, he felt the urgency to get home quickly. Someone was waiting for him, but then he bumped into someone. Unfortunately for him, that someone was Zoa, a sinister soul hunter on the trail of his final target. Zoa sneered, "You've run out of chances." Using magic, he took control of the drunk man. Under Zoa's influence, the man couldn't resist and was led forward. When he reached the last wall of a building, he realized he'd walked into a dead end. Still dazed, he reached out to touch the wall just to make sure. At that very moment, a terrifying monster emerged, grabbing all his limbs. "This is your death place," it hissed. Its long tongue hung out razor-sharp teeth inches from the man's face. The man suddenly sobered up and screamed, "Monster? At that point, the monster transformed back into the form of a child. Wrapped in mysterious black energy, it tightly coiled around the man, draining the glowing green energy from his body. "From within the living being, your humble lord shall break through and reach level 4 soul," the monster laughed coldly. "Ca, you should feel honored." Nearly drained of life, the man could only groan through his mouth, having already discovered the cause of his doom. Luckily, Fant appeared in time and attacked the monster, saving the man from danger. "Are you okay?" Fant asked. "I'm fine," the man replied with a pale face, his body drenched in sweat and covered with wounds. Before there was time for further conversation, he collapsed to the ground and fainted, narrowly escaping death once again. Fant cautiously scanned the area, then turned to little Lily standing before him. "Are you sure you won?" he asked. "My hairpin is on it," Lily quickly responded. The little demon, clearly infuriated by Fant's sudden appearance, released a burst of red energy which tightly coiled around Fant. After breaking free from the demon's grasp, Fant's body radiated golden energy, revealing immense strength. Wasting no time, he launched himself at the little demon and struck with a powerful punch. Terrified, the creature fled, but Lily swiftly appeared, absorbing its life force with satisfaction, enjoying her nourishing feast. Having its life force drained, the brat shrank back again. Finally, "Who are you people?" the resentful spirit grumbled in frustration. "My spiritual power has been consumed, I can only flee." But before it could escape, Fant charged forward and landed another powerful punch on the creature. The magical fist made the monster collapse. Suddenly, Lily flew out from Fant's body and dashed toward the hairpin to reclaim it. However, the monster reacted quickly and snatched the hairpin first. Magical energy surged from it. Lily swiftly dodged to the side, but the creature had already vanished. Outside, a police officer appeared unexpectedly, flashlight in hand. Still recovering from the fight, Fant struggled to compose himself. The officer advanced quickly and ordered, "Hands up! No resistance!" The female devil had been successful, but even the raised flashlight couldn't calm Fant's nerves. A young police officer rushed in, restraining him and yelling, "Hey! Raise your hands!" After detaining Fant, he proudly turned to Officer Theo and reported, "Sir, I caught the suspect over here." Officer Theo, ready with his firearm to take control of the situation, approached. But upon seeing Fant, he hesitated, shook his head, and let him go. Perhaps he's not the suspect after all. The young officer, unconvinced, approached the drunk man lying nearby and began to investigate. Sir, look, the markings on this man's body match those from the previous victims. If it's not him, then who is it? And why is he here?" Just as Fant struggled to answer, the drunken man suddenly regained consciousness. He slowly stood up and spoke. "To help Fant, he's my lifesaver." Seeing the final witness awake, the young officer eagerly questioned him. "You're still alive? What happened here just now? Do you remember? You're the first victim to survive and escape that killer." The office worker tried answering, but his body swayed and he collapsed again. The young officer shielded the unconscious witness while Officer Yoon called for backup. At the intersection of 9th Street, Alley 9, West City, emergency medical aid needed. Officer Theo, still smoking, turned to Fant and asked, "Are you a soul hunter?" "A soul hunter?" Fant echoed. "You've heard the term before, haven't you? That demon mentioned it earlier. It's an organization that deals with these strange occurrences," Theo continued. Fant thought to himself, "Me and Lily, could we be their targets too? We better be cautious." Seeing his confused expression, Theo said, "Looks like you've never heard of the soul hunters, huh? You figured it out just now, didn't you?" Every emotion was clearly written on Fant's face. Theo tossed his cigarette and said, "The kid's still too green, he wears all his thoughts right on his face." He then handed Fant a business card. "If you ever need to lie, watch your eyes and expressions. Call me if trouble finds you." After saying that, he told Fant to leave quietly to avoid further police entanglement. Dealing with this kind of thing takes discretion. "Thank you," Fant said, then turned and walked into the dark alley. Watching him leave, Theo smiled subtly. This kid, he's interesting. On the rooftop of a nearby building, the man who stole Lily's hairpins stood with the demon, watching everything unfold. How annoying. Just one person left now. And the spiritual energy I spent so long accumulating, it was stolen. The little demon slowly merged into his body, just like Lily had done with Fant. We should head to another city and continue hunting. But I won't forget today's humiliation. Once the demon had fully fused into him, he leapt from the rooftop and disappeared into the distance. Meanwhile, Fant was still desperately tracking the location of Kwang's hairpin. "Can you still sense the hairpin's location?" he asked. Flying beside him, Lily answered, "Yes, it's just ahead. That man couldn't have gone far. He must be wounded." Only now did Fant start questioning everything that had just happened. "That's good, but it looked like you had a clear shot at catching the demon. Why did it get away?" The answer, Lily admitted, lay in the aura of the middle-aged man from before. "I couldn't reveal myself in front of someone with such a powerful presence." Curious, Fant asked, "So how does a demon use soul magic to transform?" Sitting on his shoulder, Lily explained, "Soul magic is a powerful type of sorcery. It can be countered using soul or spiritual power, but it requires greater power than the sorcerer themselves. Soul power exists in everyone, but it's usually only awakened in life and death situations, then extraordinary strength can be released." Fant was amazed. "How do you even know all this? Didn't you lose your memory?" Lily clarified, It was probably the food we had that day. It triggered something. My memories are starting to come back slowly. Fant realized her memory would return gradually, just like his physical strength. Still, the recent events left him with many questions. So earlier, I couldn't escape because my soul power wasn't enough? Lily shook her head. It wasn't about your soul power. The sorcerer used enhanced soul power, which overwhelmed yours. You don't need to just activate soul power, you must release it too. Fant looked at his hands. But how do I release it? Lily thought for a moment. Normal cultivation methods take too long. We don't have that kind of time. I've got it. Suddenly, she transformed into a humanoid form and gently touched Fant. Don't panic. Just a kiss, she said. With that, Lily transported them into a different dimension. Fant was shocked. Lily, where are we? This is your subconscious and also my spiritual world, she explained. We formed a pact. By strengthening our connection, I can help you quickly learn how to use soul power. Understanding the urgency, Lily didn't explain further and jumped straight into action. Within a minute, their clothes had disappeared, leaving Fant stunned and unsure of what to do next. What's happening, Lily? Where are our belongings? Lily approached from behind and began to explain, pressing gently against Fagin, how objects could significantly affect the flow of spiritual energy. Therefore, they had to be discarded. Close your eyes and feel the movement of spiritual energy starting from the Danton, Lily instructed. Despite feeling somewhat embarrassed, Fant obediently followed Lily's guidance. As Lily's hand softly touched him, Fagin's body responded smoothly to the direction of her finger movements. They tried to manipulate the spiritual energy, and Fant, being a quick learner, could already sense the spiritual energy as described by Lily not only in his subconscious but also powerfully emanating from his body. Fagin slowly opened his eyes, which flashed with a yellow light. Ah, so this is it, he exclaimed, realizing he could now sense his own spiritual energy. After Lily's guidance, with a swift kick off the ground, Fant soared into the air. Lily immediately sensed the thief's location who had taken her hairpin. Pointing left, she indicated the direction. Having identified the target, Fagin and Lily quickly moved toward that place. Recalling their earlier battle, the demon felt even more bitter. Despite being level 4, it couldn't do much against Fant's level 5 spiritual power. Quickly, it ordered the middle-aged man to leave, sensing danger approaching. As they were about to leave the city, a familiar sound was heard. Both the man and the demon instinctively reacted. Fagin stood atop a red street lamp, looking down with a hint of sadness. So, you're the third grave robber who escaped from the princess's tomb, aren't you? Fagin asked solemnly. Zolas was now extremely scared and wondered how Fagin had found him here. Unable to wait for Zolas to escape, Fagin quickly punched his position. Upon witnessing this attack, Zolas immediately adopted a fighting stance. The demon Little also reacted, pointing towards Fagin. Don't bully people too much. Do you think you can take lives freely and not face consequences? How arrogant. The hairpin in my hand will lead you to your swift death, the demon said, reaching into its chest as if to retrieve something. Your intention is to obtain my spiritual essence. If that's the case, I'll fulfill your wish, the demon Little declared. As expected, the object it brought out was Lily's hairpin, which had helped it escape once before. The sinister aura emanating from the hairpin filled the sky. Subsequently, a dragon formed from dark energy appeared. The dragon roared, "You'll pay for this dearly." It directed its attack towards Fant. "You today, I will make you wish for death," the demon shouted, unleashing its soul magic. But before a minute had passed, Fagin struck it, causing the demon to shudder in horror. How could you break my soul magic?" it exclaimed incredulously. Despite the setback, the demon refused to give up. It commanded the black dragon to charge toward Fant, aiming for a perfect strike. However, to its dismay, Fant, now proficient in using spiritual energy, shattered the dragon with a single punch, demonstrating strength beyond that of a mere human. The demon then transformed into a colossal figure, brandishing the hairpin and preparing to strike as it had before. But Lily and Fant were not about to fall for the same trick twice. Fagin swiftly dealt a fatal blow to it. Understanding the situation, Lily immediately flew into attack. Seeing Lily's hairpin, Fagin joyfully lunged forward to seize it, only to have his hand snared by the thick black energy emitted by the demon. Despite Fagin's surprise, the demon seized the opportunity to counterattack, unleashing even more black energy. Just when it seemed the tables had turned in its favor, Lily appeared out of nowhere, absorbing the energy and savoring the taste of the viscous substance. Enraged, the demon lunged at Fant with his hairpin, but Fagin was ready to defend himself. With a circular motion of his hand, empowered by Lily's guidance and the strength of the hairpin, Fant was able to control the situation. The demon roared, transforming its hand into a colossal fist and readying itself to strike. However, Fagin was already prepared to send it to its demise. With a powerful blow, he caused the demon to dissipate entirely into the air. Even in its last moments, it lamented. Suddenly, the terrifying demon reverted back to its human form. Its small hands trembled in the air, tears streaming down its face as it cried out, "Mother, where are you? Save me. I can't breathe underwater, it's so uncomfortable. I haven't found my mother yet. I don't want to die." Perhaps these were its final words before vanishing into the air. Fant gently touched it, transferring its burden away. Suddenly, Fant felt a strange sensation in his head, fragments of memories. "Do you know what infanticide means?" he softly asked Lily. "It's when parents, mainly fathers, refuse to raise their newborns and instead choose to kill them with their own hands," Lily explained. "I saw some of its memories earlier. It was a baby drowned shortly after birth by its parents' own hands due to their desire for a better life. It harbors resentment and hatred for not being able to live in this world, hence transforming into a vengeful spirit, a reflection of its parents' actions." As he spoke, Fant silently questioned himself, "So what about you, Lily? What obsession kept you lingering for over 1,000 years, persisting beside the princess's tomb, refusing to fade away? How long did your peace last before, out of nowhere, a dagger came straight at you? With just 2 fingers, he managed to block that strike. The soul of the child you leaned on had already dispersed, yet you dared to raise your hand against me. I thought you had fled just now," said Zolas. As soon as Fant finished speaking, Zolas used 2 fingers to snap a star-shaped object, causing Zolas to stagger backward. He quickly gathered his spirits, though at this moment he was not stable. His glasses slid down his forehead, revealing a frightened expression. "And yet, you killed it. I'm sure they'll find me. I'm surely dead now," Zolas said. Fant grabbed his collar, pressing him against the nearby wall. Zolas was in a weaker position, showing signs of fear. "Don't kill me, I beg you. Don't kill me." Vagant just wanted him to answer, starting the interrogation very effectively. "So now I ask you, you know that demon. Where does it come from?" Fant inquired. Zolas answered truthfully, "Half a year ago, I often went to the usual place, the Black Devil, to listen for news. He said there was a big order he wanted to give me. At that time, I was short on money, and the price that mission paid was sky high. So, I called 2 more people to take this order together." Fant glared and asked again, "Black Devil? Who is he?" "He is someone who sells information in our industry. He has a very extensive network of information. It seems he represents a great power, a very large one. He knows many places with valuable things to steal. I have received many jobs through him. That order required us to go to the princess's tomb for something, but he didn't say what it was," Zolas replied. "He gave me an old jar, saying it could only be opened at the princess's tomb to find out what we needed to dig up. Out of curiosity, before going to the tomb, I opened it in a hotel. To my surprise, a demon crawled out. It was terrifying, it tormented me all night, even stabbing me through. It controlled my consciousness until I woke up. Me and my 2 friends went to the princess's tomb. When we arrived, for some reason, it removed all control over me and then crawled to the ground. This was a good chance to escape from it. I recounted everything to you, intending to escape, but it grabbed a hairpin from beneath the ground, climbed onto me, and at the same time, many ghostly images emerged from everywhere, attacking us. I didn't want to die. I only promised it I would help it hunt for prey. That's when it let me go, but my 2 friends were dragged into the deep forest. When I saw them again, they were crazy, appearing on the news. It forced me to kill people. It said if I cooperated with it, it would give me a lot of money and help me escape police pursuit. If I didn't help it hunt prey, it would kill me. I had no choice but to cooperate. I want to live." Zolas exclaimed in frustration, tears streaming down his face. "I have to earn money to treat my seriously ill son. My son is still waiting for me, I can't die." These words made Fant even more uncomfortable. The one who took it around to kill people was the accomplice, he thought. He said he couldn't die, so what about the people he killed? They also have children, loved ones. Now their loved ones suffer even more than him by 100,000 times. Zolas groaned in pain, kneeling down and begging Fant. "I'm sorry, please forgive me, don't kill me, don't hand me over to the police." He sobbed, tears streaming down his face. "I admit I made a mistake, I can't forgive myself. I've harmed so many families, so many people, but my son is suffering from a serious illness. I have to earn money to treat him. My son's mother has passed away, he only has me left. I've caused so much trouble, but now all I can do is cry and beg for forgiveness. Furious, Fant grabbed his collar and preached, "It's not about apologizing to me. The ones you have to apologize to are those who lost their sons, husbands, and fathers. Do you understand? You don't have time to sympathize with the scum." Fant then asked the final question, "Where's the black demon now? How do they usually contact you?" Zolas truthfully answered each of Fant's questions. The black demon is always very mysterious with no fixed abode. He usually assigns tasks through the internet. We deliver the goods to the designated location and then the money is transferred to overseas accounts. When he needs us, he actively comes to find us. So, we don't know where he is now. This seems difficult. Fant immediately demanded, "Give me your phone." After taking his phone, he quickly stored the contact information and then threw it back to him. "I'm Fant. This is my contact information. If the black demon shows up next time, contact me immediately. Do you understand?" Seeing Fant intending to leave without pursuing further, Zolas suspected, "Are you letting me go? Why not call the police to arrest me?" Fant replied, "Without the help of that demon, you would have been caught long ago. Before that, if you want to save your son, quickly atone for your sins to the families of the victims. That demon wouldn't give you money to treat your son, would it?" Zolas collapsed to the ground. Thank you. I know what to do now. If the boy recovers, I'll tell the kid to walk the right path and not follow in my footsteps anymore." Fant immediately left. Watching him leave, Zolas's gaze followed him. He smiled slightly. "Thank you. After I finish what I have to do, I'll turn myself in," he murmured. Then he turned to Lily. "Little Kwang, do you think my approach was correct? Although he had his own suffering, he had harmed many people. I don't want his son to end up like him." Observing Lily's thoughtful expression, Fant decided not to press her for an answer. She appeared cheerful as usual. "Well, since the decision has been made, don't think about it anymore, darling. You became stronger in such a short time. That demon was so powerful, yet you managed to defeat it. Helping little Lily find his hairpin, you did very well," she said. "All right, I know. Let's not think about it anymore. Let's go home," she said excitedly. "Let's go home. Thinking too much is useless. No matter who's behind it, the fact that we found the hairpin has ruined their plan." While walking, Fant suddenly stopped, causing the person behind her to bump into her head, leaving a wound on her forehead. "Are you okay?" Fant held Lily's hairpin without hesitation. Lily asked, "Darling, do you want to set my hair for me?" With such a cute request, Fant couldn't find a reason to refuse. Fant installed a hairpin for her, partly restoring Lily's memories. Before her eyes was a handsome general, no less than Fant. The general said, "This hairpin suits you very well. You are very beautiful." Unconscious memories rushed back, tears streaming down Lily's face. Lily looked at the imposing figure, feeling touched and teary-eyed. After retrieving the hairpin, it helped Lily regain some of her strength. It emitted a powerful aura that even tore apart her clothes. Fant exclaimed loudly, "What?" said, "Is this? Don't do this. Your clothes are all torn because of you." As he finished speaking, Lily had already put on a new outfit, resembling a true princess. The spiritual energy within her increased, affecting Fant in the same way. A surge of energy from Lily flowed into Fant's body, making him feel even stronger than before. The intense spiritual energy felt like it was burning him up. As the main character, he released a powerful surge of energy that seemed to reach the sky, leaving the others shuddering in fear. The spiritual energy on the other side was so strong, it felt unsettlingly different. "Let's finish dealing with these demons first," the girl quickly handled the demon in front of her. All right, with just a few moves, all the demons were defeated. The scene transitioned to a high-rise building in the city. They also witnessed the strong aura of Fant. "The hunter who intervened," someone muttered. "This is Master. Why is there such a strong presence here? What's going on over there?" "I think I forgot my little experiment," replied the regular guy. "Well, we need to investigate who intervened. If the professor asks, we won't know what to report," said the person behind them. "Forget it, we won't gain anything by asking," said another. "Let's just deal with it." "Yes, boss, please don't kill me. I'll tell you everything." "I've told you everything already. You said you'd let me go." After disposing of the person, they accidentally dropped a cigarette on the ground before moving to another place. The police chief also noticed the spiritual energy and muttered, "Oh, this must be Fant's doing. What's happening over there? Is everything okay? I think I forgot my little royal toy. You go back and rest first." "Oh, okay. See you tomorrow at the police bureau, boss." After a while of absorbing spiritual energy, Fant was sweating profusely. "It was too dangerous just now. I felt like I was about to explode," said Lily, hugging Fant's neck. "Someone might come here. Let's go quickly." Fant nodded, yeah, and they swiftly flew home. The main character worriedly closed all the curtains and turned off the lights. That light was too bright. "We won't make it to the newspaper tomorrow, no one will believe it," he said. "The spiritual energy has solidified, otherwise ordinary people wouldn't see it." "Why is the spiritual energy so strong this time?" Fant asked. "Part of it is definitely absorbing your soul's power. Mostly, it's probably my strength. My power is stored in my hair. The hair dual possesses 1/10 of my strength when I was at my strongest," Lily explained. "Is that strength the strongest of Lily?" Fant murmured, partly in awe. "Then, during the prosperous era, how strong will Lily be exactly? So, have your memories been restored? Do you remember anything?" Lily tried to recall more, but Fant gently rubbed her head, saying, "Forget it. If you can't remember, then forget it. No matter what happens, I will always be by your side." A notification rang out. It was from the director, Tom. Fant took out his phone to watch the video. "Our video is trending. It's hot right now. Let me see. Wow, it really is hot. Just 3 hours after posting, it has 1 million views, and the comments are soaring. This time, it's truly viral, even hotter than the previous princess video." In Fant's mind, thoughts of how much money could be made from fame flooded in. Being famous could lead to substantial earnings, advertisements, sponsorships, live streams, promoting products. Everything was possible. Soon after, Lily took Fant into a space called consciousness. "These are a school of golden fish swimming around us. They both represent the fear power. Darling has a lot of fear power," Lily informed. Then she closed her eyes, and both of them seemed to be floating ethereally without a shred of cloth on them, surrounded by the school of golden fish transferring spiritual energy back into reality. Fant felt a slight change in his body. This is the power of fear, probably born from that hot video. Fant tightened his grip on her hand, feeling a surge of spiritual energy radiating from her, realizing that now, even without Lone's help, he can still control spiritual energy. Today is full of good things: the soul hunter, the mysterious police officer, Black Devil, the memories, and Lily losing her memories. There's a mysterious organization at the princess's tomb. A whole new world is about. Fant pondered, bringing all these thoughts into the exotic bathroom. It's more vivid and dangerous, but I've signed the pact. I can't turn back now. I must survive. In his sleep that night, Fant kept muttering. Lily worriedly touched Fant's head. She was very happy now. Then she used magic to make all her clothes disappear. She felt fulfilled, having waited for him for over 1,000 years. "Finally, I found you." At this moment, Fant dreamt of childhood memories. A demon lurking in the darkness, a sudden gasoline explosion engulfing the orphanage in flames, leaving nothing but ashes. At 6:05 a.m., the main character held 2 buns in his hands. Despite the many delicious options around, Fant only cared about these buns. "They're so soft and smooth, definitely delicious." Fant reminisced about the feeling from earlier. "Is this real or a dream? I feel like it's real." The sight of Lily lying beside him startled Fant. He got up, screamed, throwing off the blanket, and rushed out of bed. Lily was still sleepily asking, "Fant, what are you doing? Why are you screaming?" At this moment, her beautiful body was revealed, making Fant nosebleed. "What's going on?" Lily, confused, asked. Fant ran to get tissues while Lily stood there baffled. "Put your clothes on and go, Lily." Now dressed, Lily emitted a green aura. "I am ready," she said. Fant asked in surprise, "How can you stand in the sunlight without fear?" "Because my power has partially returned," she replied. "This is different from before. The long dress was inconvenient, now I can go out during the day." Is Lone not a spiritual entity but rather a presence in some form? He pondered. At 7:41 a.m., Fant received a call from director Tom. "Our video has become a top hot search. Advertisers are contacting us. Some want to place ads in the next video. It'll cost thousands. Don't rush to reply. We're still newcomers. Just 2 videos and we've already lost the fans' favor. Do you have experience running an account with 20,000 followers? He asked. Fant said, I will do the video shooting and content creation, and you guys will do the video editing and commissioning. Then we'll scale and work together to make this account bigger and get a great opportunity. Director Tom happily exclaimed, the opportunity to collaborate with you brought great joy, but he also expressed some concerns. We're just a small studio relying on your current popularity and prospects, Fant said. Cutting across, Director Tom said, no worries. I've been quite pleased with our previous collaborations. Besides, I have a pretty good impression of the people in your studio. Director Tom happily thanked him, then added, regarding the split, we'll take 20%. No, can we just have 10%? Tom asked. If that's possible, I'll send over the contract. I trust you, Fant replied gratefully, recalling Tom's assistance during tough times. I was turned down by many companies with quotes of $1,000. You were the only ones who responded, showing me respect and offering meticulous service. I always want to thank you, Fant continued, feeling touched. We should strive to satisfy our customers, said Tom. You can count on us to manage this account well. I'll send the contract over later. I have other matters to attend to, Tom said before leaving. This account has been assigned to you guys. Fant watches the video and thinks, so I don't know how much little Lily can recover from this viral video. Fant looks at Lily. Has yesterday's fear been enough? Can you recover your power? First, we meet at the princess's grave. It will take a while before a complete recovery. So, how much is missing? Little Lily conjures a sphere of spiritual power and says, I guess this is enough for my prosperous period in it. The recovery part is only a very small portion. Still, a lot is missing. So, what now? Are you sure you can defeat the monster at high school? Yeah, definitely. Little Lily is confident that she will win. This makes Fant pleased. So, let's have a meal first and rest to gather enough spirits. We'll set off back to high school tonight, waiting for the moon to rise. Hi, Fant and Lily finally set off. Little Lily is ready. Let's go. Before finishing the sentence, Lily pulls him away and flies. Perhaps the delicious food mood at high school has made Lily extremely excited. At this time, there are 2 guys, Carl and Mao, lurking in front of the school gate. Do we really have to come here to shoot a video? You probably saw the top trending video already. The place he shot is right here. This is definitely an opportunity not to be missed. Ma gets a hit on the head from Carl, but are there really demons in there? Martin explains, there are demons that beep, of course. It's surely synthesized with software and shot using various techniques. Scary videos like this are everywhere on the internet now. You don't really think there are demons, do you? Huh? Unexpectedly, a hand reaches out from behind and scares the 2 almost to wet their pants. Haven't we agreed to meet at the high school gate? The 2 cowards, scared, run home. Carl trembles as he goes, don't talk about the deserted and eerie surroundings at night, please. Mao, quick-witted, says, boss, everything is not ready yet. The video editing and special effects aren't really good this time. We didn't prepare anything. It can't compare to them. What can we shoot here? Lamp takes out a notebook and a pen. What do you think about the video title, Secrets of High School Horror Videos Revealed? How's the actual situation at high school? Excellent, boss. Masterful. Mao replies. He is indeed the most knowledgeable among us. Let's set off immediately. Mao, with a pale face, pulls Lamp's shoulder and says, wait. Listen carefully, it seems like there's a sound behind. Seeing the faint image of Lily and Fant, the other 2 shout, demon, and run. Behind Lamp, get down from me quickly. The 2 men are not as brave as a girl like me. Late at night, in a deserted area, suddenly appearing, is it not a demon? Then what is it? I apologize to my 2 friends, quite timid. Are you guys living here? Who are you? Carl scratches his head and introduces himself. We are video bloggers who came here to explore the high school for our hot list, mainly to see if we can shoot any interesting videos. I'm Carl. Hi, I'm Mao, Carl's assistant, and I'm Lamp, their childhood friend. Currently working at a live stream company, mainly exploring outdoor cuisine and eating. Ma takes a quick look and recognizes, oh, aren't you Fant? Carl, with a tense expression, asks, who is Fant? That's the name of the person in the video exploring the hottest school right now. Listen to this. Lamp's eyes brighten as he steps forward to introduce himself. Oh, you shot that video so well. I followed you. Can you sign for me? Didn't expect to meet you guys. That sister also appeared in the video. Are you 2 a couple? Hearing this question, little Lily looks at Fant seriously. Yes, Fant signs and answers. She is my wife. If you want to live stream or shoot videos at the high school, I advise you to come tomorrow morning. Why? This place doesn't belong to you, so you don't allow others to shoot here. This place indeed has demons. I'm not kidding. Although it's convenient to come at night, you may encounter life-threatening danger. Humph. Don't think we can't see through it. Your videos are all special effects. There are no real demons. If there's really danger, how did you come out last time? And why do you want to come in again this time to shoot a scary video? We just want to catch the heat of your video, right? If you don't want to die, go home quickly. What I said is true. Whether you believe it or not is up to you. Fant and Lily fly inside in an instant. Mao looks after them, muttering, "The wind just now was strange." They went in. Could it be that this time they came here to shoot the next part of the high school video? That's right. If they come to shoot the next part and we secretly follow them filming scenes at the scene and posting the video, wouldn't that be hot? Or let it go. Fant just said it's dangerous. There might be real monsters inside. Besides, disturbing others and shooting videos is not good. While the other two are arguing, Lamp has run quickly to the gate. Don't hesitate. Just at the right time, I'm curious how they shoot videos. I have to go see. And so all three step into the border of the high school gate. As for Fant's side, hoping they listen and leave in a while, there may not be enough strength to protect them in a fight. In the room, Fant hands the phone to Lily, who starts recording. As Fant climbs the stairs, he begins telling the story. My current location is still in high school. 3 days ago, I encountered an unknown monster here. After being forced to retreat by it, I had no choice but to withdraw. However, Lee's spirit is still trapped in the school, waiting for me to rescue her. At this moment, Fant has reached the principal's office. The young man kicks the door open. I'm back. Looking around the room and seeing nothing, Fant immediately asks little Lily with his thoughts, "How is it? Where is it?" Little Lily points to the comb on the table. Fant continues the story. I guess this comb is Lee's spiritual anchor. We can find her before. Before Fant could finish his sentence, the demon appears. You dare to come back? If you've come, don't think of leaving. I have arranged the boundary. You cannot escape, the demon shouts. Humph, nothing new. Fant throws a punch towards the demon. It trembles, astonished. How can you become so much stronger in just a few days? Did you hide your true power before? Are you a soul hunter? Fant replies, I didn't become stronger. It's just that you, a weak fat demon, underestimated me. You are too weak. Mocked, the demon angrily shouts, damn you for mocking me. It begins to transform into a giant robotic shape. Do you think you can defeat me like this? Don't celebrate too soon. The battle has just begun. No one can separate me and Leah. No one, even if you are a soul hunter. Fant begins to be surrounded by the demon's ghostly threads, slightly concerned. Is this the demon's soul technique? Outside, Carl's group starts recording. Hello everyone, I'm Carl, and the location we're in is the entrance to the teaching building of the high school. Probably everyone has heard the stories about this high school. Today we're here because... Before Carl could finish, a scream echoes, you dare to return, human? A voice comes from above, something is falling. Carl panics, that's Fant, the idol. Lamp, seeing it, turns pale and exclaims, damn, it's the 5-story building. If he falls, he's dead for sure. Quick as lightning, little Lily rushes after and tightly embraces Fant. Lamp's group sees this with a few question marks appearing above their heads. Mouse says to Carl, I didn't blink. Did they just fly up? Carl, somewhat alarmed, then reassures himself, it's a cable. They must have used a cable. A demon jumps down in front of them, causing the ground to crack into pieces wherever it steps. Wherever the demon goes, gusts of strong wind appear. Mouse shouts, this can't be a cable. Lamp grabs Mao and Carl, pulling them away. What are you still recording? Are you stupid? Hurry and run. Today, no one can escape. Ha! Daring to touch my Leah, I want you all to die. The demon immediately creates a boundary covering the entire school, trapping everyone inside. It seems we can't get out. What kind of demon is this? Let me see. I don't believe we can't get out. Carl doesn't believe it and sticks his head into the boundary only to be thrown backward immediately. Only then does he believe it. Today we have to die here. If only he had listened to what the guy said earlier. Now saying these words, what's the use? I hope he can defeat this monster. Fagin thinks to himself, this guy's power is too formidable, lightning fast. The demon is now right in front of Fagin. Let's see how many times you can escape from dangerous situations, Fant says. He calls his wife, Little Lily, who immediately transforms into countless strands of spiritual threads, aiming at the demon and rushing in. Before the punch lands, the demon is completely dazzled. With his wife's help, the protagonist arrogantly tilts his shoulder and says, "Come and kill me. Am I not right here in front of you?" The helpless demon screams in hatred, "Let me go." The protagonist walks up and pats its head. "Demon, do you think I'm stupid? Letting you go is no different from letting a mad dog bite me. You're so discreet that you dare not reveal your true face. If I'm guessing correctly, you're probably the last acting principal of the high school who committed suicide in that principal's office, right?" Pointing at the demon, the protagonist continues, "Did you harm Lila to death?" No. It wasn't me. I didn't want to kill her. If she hadn't run away at that time, I wouldn't have laid a hand on her. It's all because of her, you can't blame me. Why did she want to run away? Staying by my side wasn't good, it's all her fault. The acting principal blames Lila for everything. Fant is furious. She punches him hard. She's still so young. You could be her father's age. She had a whole beautiful life ahead and you took it away so early. Shut up. Shut up. Please don't say anymore. Where's Lila? Speak and I'll let you die quickly. Everything has come to this point, but the monstrous headmaster still holds Lila close. Do you want to take Lila away? Forget it. I won't let you take her, absolutely not, the frenzied monstrous headmaster shouts. The chains snap apart and his eyes fill with malice. Little Lily warns Fant cautiously. The monstrous headmaster lunges, grabbing and dragging Fant toward the wall. Boom! A loud explosion sends everything flying. The monstrous headmaster emits some kind of dark magic. Little Lily, what just happened? Fant asks with a serious expression. I don't know. It seems like a sudden power-up, Little Lily replies. The monstrous headmaster's hands crawl on the ground like a wild beast stalking its prey. No one can separate me and Lila. No one at all. His electric currents grow stronger. Darn it. He just leveled up. Was I too arrogant just now? Little Lily releases some chains to attack the monstrous headmaster and grabs her husband's hand to run away. But the chains have no effect on him anymore. Little Lily is blocked by the monstrous headmaster, who laughs loudly and releases electric currents. Fant rushes forward to protect his wife but is thrown meters away, crashing into a wall. Darling, are you okay? Lily asks worriedly. Yeah, I'm fine, Fagin replies, coughing a bit. I'm okay. Escape into my body. The defense range may be smaller. Little Lily immediately hides within Fant. The main character runs away with all his might. They need to think of a solution. The monstrous headmaster says, I want you to stay here forever. His entire body emits electric currents like thunder, targeting Fant. Fant struggles to dodge and finally manages to reach the principal's office. The surroundings are sealed off by the monstrous headmaster's electric field. If there is any chance to break through, it has to be here. Now, the monstrous headmaster releases electric currents again. It's not good. There's no way to escape. But stopping now offers no opportunity. After some contemplation, Fant decides to take the risk. The main character rushes out, flying through the electric field created by the monstrous headmaster's currents. The currents collide with the spiritual energy on Fagin's body, creating loud explosions too dangerous. Luckily, he manages to escape. Taking advantage of this opportunity, he looks for Lila. Lila only appears in the principal's office whenever he touches the comb, so she must be there. After thinking, the main character flies onto the roof and heads toward the principal's office. Upon entering, the monstrous headmaster immediately spots him. Kaka, you can't escape. Not only you but the 3 people outside and the woman inside. You will all die here. No one can disturb my life with Lila. No one, he shouts, approaching a force field. Vagant speaks to him. Lila, if I guess correctly, she must be hidden here, right? Caught off guard, the monstrous headmaster remains silent. Seeing Fant raise his hand to strike the comb, he rushes forward, yelling loudly. Lila disappeared, last seen in the principal's office, the place where I first encountered her soul. There must be a hidden secret space within the principal's office. Being guessed by you, so what? The monstrous headmaster says. No way, I'll let you in and you'll die. The monstrous headmaster crazily charges at Fant. Little Lily flies up to help Fant. Darling, be careful. The power of those electric currents can break through all the spiritual energy that Little Lily creates. He concentrates his energy in his hands, creating an electric sphere, and shouts. The sphere targets little Lily and Fant, causing a horrifying explosion that makes the monstrous headmaster think they are both dead. He sneers for a while, then suddenly hears a noise. Fant carries his wife out of the fire. At the same time, the main character discovers a hidden space where Lila is imprisoned. Lila is bound by chains. Seeing Fant and little Lily entering, Lila joyfully shouts, "Fant!" The main character flies to rescue Lila. Little Lily seems to keep an eye on the monstrous headmaster. "I said I would help you, so I'm here," Fant says. Fant breaks the chains on Lila's hands and lifts her. The monstrous headmaster sees this and shouts, "Stop! Give Lila back to me. I came today to defeat you and then take Lila away. Lila, if you want to leave me, then die. Stay here forever." The monstrous headmaster screams, but Lila refuses and hides behind Fant. The monstrous headmaster, furious, unleashes a powerful shockwave. Outside, the group Carl, Mao, and Lamp wonder why there is no movement. Who was the winner? If Fant won, that would be fortunate. If the monstrous headmaster won, they would die. They look inside, noticing something flowing out, a colored liquid containing dark aura heading toward them, making it difficult for Lamp's group to breathe. They groan and faint. "Lila can't be separated from you. None of us can. If she wants to leave me, then she must die. Stay here forever," the monstrous headmaster shouts. Sensing something unusual, little Lily immediately tells Fant there's something strange in this black bone curtain. "It seems like there's a spell draining our strength. We have to quickly figure out how to escape." In difficulty lies wisdom, Fant thinks. Lila, having been with him for so many years, surely knows the weakness of the monstrous headmaster. Fant turns to Lila and asks, "Do you know his weakness?" "His weakness is his chest," Layla replied. Even without the protection of spiritual power and armor, it was almost impossible to overcome the shockwave spheres around him. For the survival of all three, Fant was forced to take a risk. Fant recalled the feeling of rushing earlier to save little Lily. "No, I can do it," he thought. "I just need enough speed. I just need to capture that same feeling as before. Yes, this feeling, this is my soul technique." Seeing Fant rushing in, the monstrous headmaster began to control the electric spheres around him. He arrogantly exclaimed, "If you're seeking death, let's see who dies first." As he spoke, a stream of spiritual energy from the main character pierced through the chest of the monstrous headmaster. His eyes widened, blood sprang out, and the remaining electric currents quickly exploded, destroying the monstrous headmaster's body. At this moment, an empty hole appeared in the middle of his chest. Memories of a happy family resurfaced. He silently murmured, "Isa, don't leave your father. It's all my fault." The monstrous headmaster raised his hand towards Layla with a remorseful expression. "Layla, I'm sorry." Then he slowly disappeared. After so much hardship, little Lily finally had a delicious meal. Fant also absorbed a considerable amount of spiritual energy. After absorbing it, Fant began to sense the memories of the monstrous headmaster. It seemed like someone else had been controlling him. Originally, the monstrous headmaster had a happy family, a cute daughter, and a gentle wife. Isa, that was his daughter's name. 15 years ago, an accident caused his wife and daughter to die right in front of him. But when he was in despair, someone approached him, enticing and manipulating him by disrupting his consciousness and devising an evil plan. They claimed that he could resurrect his daughter. Fant pointed towards Layla, saying she is the vessel he used to resurrect his daughter. But his plan failed and those people deceived him. When he realized the truth, it was too late. He could only be trapped here with Layla as a demonized spirit. In fact, after those earlier attacks, he genuinely began to treat her like his daughter. But a series of attacks drove him insane, unable to control his emotions, and increasingly possessive. "You guys are my saviors," Layla thanked. "No need to call me a savior, just call me by my name, I'm Fant." Layla felt sorrowful and her body began to dissolve. "Layla, what's happening?" "I'm sorry," Fant seemed to witness her immediate dissolution. In reality, she didn't have strong resentment energy to survive for long. It was the monstrous headmaster's soul power that had been supporting her. Now that she disappeared, it seemed the soul power in her body couldn't resist anymore. "Fant, don't worry. Helping me escape is also my wish. Although I'm a bit reluctant and really want to see this beautiful world, at least I won't be controlled by others to harm people anymore." "Little Lily, is there any way in this situation? She needs something to connect with her and use a large amount of spiritual power to protect her soul." Fant immediately remembered the comb. The comb still hasn't been effective. Why doesn't it work? Layla, feeling dejected, spoke her final words. Thank you, Fant. It's okay. See you in the next life if there's a next life. Before Layla could finish her sentence, her body completely dissipated. Fant screamed in helplessness. No. A man's tears fell. I'm sorry, Layla. I broke my promise. I said I would save you.